Hey y'all, Pawdad here. So you hopefully have heard our audience song that's just been released. If not, make sure you go check it out. Head on over to pawdadpresents.com and you can find that song and all the other ones that we have out there as well. But today I have my son Kyler with us, and we're going to talk about the audience song. He's the one that actually made the song and some of the challenges he had with the Suno application, and just we'll kind of go over that song and the process. So, Kyler, how's it going?
Yeah, it's going well. I am one of the humans behind Pawdad Presents. Currently loving it. Yeah, so the audience song was a little difficult. We don't have the largest audience quite yet. And sometimes that can be good because you can dig in with the people who are following. But when you're doing some of these polls and trying to figure out what's going on, you can kind of not get as many answers as you want. But I still think, thankful for the people who did respond. This is probably something that we did maybe a little too soon, but I still think
we're ambitious.
Yeah,
we're ambitious.
Well, that we'll fire up the AI bots to give us some feedback on those. So some of the answers that we had a couple about like a hopeful anthem about new beginnings, some memories you can't let go. Some people wanted sunrise included in the song. Another one said to swipe right on a rodeo clown.
Those I think those are the ones that Mackenzie came up with via AI, and we just put that out there as a poll, right? So
I believe so. But someone did check that, and so unfortunately, that one didn't make it into this song, and I'll tell you why. Although I do think it will be good for one of our country artists. I think that would be a
totally agree.
Very good one. But one that came up was chill indie vibes. And I've been a fan of indie music for as long as I can remember. I kind of like the old hipster vibes of like Mumford and Sons, Lumineers, some things like that. And so that one, when I saw that this one had some more votes than a couple others on there, like country soul or Christian, and some Southern rock was another response on there, I was like, that's kind of the direction that I wanted to go on that. But yeah, no, it was a little bit difficult at first. At least I thought it was going to be. But I think the biggest challenge was kind of narrowing in on how an anthem about new beginnings would really take place.
Yeah. So how did you, because I mean, to be honest, we haven't really talked about you're working on this in detail, like the lyrics and things like that. Like how did you find getting the lyrics? Because I mean, I know a lot of times when I'm making songs, I might ask, we call her Judy. We call ChatGPT Judy because it's just easier to say Judy than ChatGPT. But I'll ask Judy give me some upfront lyrics for this concept, right? I'll put the ideas in. This is what I want. Most of the time, those lyrics aren't good, but at least it's kind of getting me thinking, and I can take some of that and tweak the heck out of it to get me what I want. So how did you go about coming up with the lyrics for the song Fading Forward?
So I'm a little bit less of the hey, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? And kind of getting people's input on things. I kind of like to internalize either the ideas or just kind of sit on them for a little bit. But I found that I could threaten Judy a good bit of, hey, these are the lyrics. This is the vibe that I want to go for. This is the direction that I want to go to. So you better give it to me. And I found that doing that kind of same response a couple times always yielded very different results. Because part of me thought that I could just throw the same prompt in there and they'll just, spit me out the same thing over and over. And it did that for a little bit. And then each time that I would start a new chat instead of, on the same thread, it did get a little bit different each time. And so I started out with that, and then I would kind of grab all the lyrics or like a chunk of lyrics, and I would kind of dig into having it rephrase, and kind of pull out some of the typical AI generated answers.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you've run into that
all the time. Yeah.
Yeah. So
because I've even gone as far as to put in instructions to say, do not give me the typical AI tropes, right? Neon, glow, light. Like, it's just the typical AI tropes tend to be very vague, and I don't know why that is. Like, I guess I'm gonna have to do some study on why that is, but they tend to be like that. And those are the ones that I wipe out initially. Like, if I see anything in there like that, I'm like, nope. But even when I've gone in and say, I put that in the instructions and I tell them not to do it in the prompt, and it'll still give me that kind of stuff. So yeah.
I don't know what it is with AI and neon, but you're right that
it's seen too many Tron movies. I don't know, maybe.
Right. Yeah. And another one that kept coming up was static, but I like the word static because to me it's not just the fuzzies on the TV. Yeah. It's a noise. It's almost grainy in what you're seeing, and so I believe I have the word static in the lyrics, and I liked that, and I was like, I want to kind of dial in on making sure that's there. I don't think I have glow anywhere in it, but there's
another one's shadow, and it's one of those ones where I'm telling it not to give me those things, but there are times when that is a perfect word to use.
It is, yeah.
Like, I know we've got a song kind of sitting right now for Pain of Knowing that is about shadow. But it works for that, so somebody could come at us and go, see, look, it's just AI garbage. I'm like, no, that word works there.
I think the main thing is if you can expand on that word in a way, in a human interaction with the word, or I think that's
if it's just a weird use of it's just injected into the song somewhere and it doesn't really have anything else to do with it. Yes, that's AI. But yeah, if you can use it and it's a concrete part of the song.
Yeah.
I don't have Bestie, the Elena Reeves song, Bestie, has neon, but it's them out on the town dancing at a club. Yes, there's going to be neon.
To see it.
You expect to see it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, yes, I mean, there are, and maybe because we're trying not to, we don't want to just dump out AI garbage, right? We want to make something that actually has some feeling, and like you said, the humans were the humans behind it. So maybe we're just a little bit kind of keyed into these typical AI tropes because we see them a lot, and so we get that kind of I don't want to use that, but that word may be. Now I'm not going to do a song about the neon glow of shadows and the airiness of light, right? Like that would be. Maybe we do a song like that, but
it flows so well.
Yeah. But I think at times those words are perfectly. I mean, it's obvious that AI, the like Suno, is trained on existing music, so it's finding this stuff out there. I mean, it's human speech, it's lyrics, it's all the information that the AI is using to be trained on. Why does it keep coming up with that? Maybe it's because it's what's being fed in, right?
It's not making up new words that
Exactly.
we
Yeah.
are, putting into our, dictionary every day.
Yeah.
But no, I think the process of kind of narrowing down the lyrics, um, it came pretty easy because I had an idea in my head of, someone wanted to put sunrise in there. So I thought, well, if there is sunrise, then there's obviously going to be some kind of shadows cast or something, because you're going to get that. And so I felt that worked really well. Um, and there was another response of memories you can't let go. And, you know, I feel like those kind of go hand in hand, where, you're trying to move on from something you can't let go, but you are hopeful about something. So like I thought that the blend of those two responses seemed to work really well. And that's kind of how I just again, I like to threaten ChatGPT, any AI. They work. It works for us, and
Yeah.
so when you know, you can kind of force it to do what you want it to do. And again, if you're using AI, like you and I, we know what the normal spit out answers are.
Yeah.
Um, but again, I think it there are ways and times that it works. So I had fun with the lyrics and generating those.
Yeah. What about just Suno in general? Because I know you. So this is the first song that we've published that you've done. You have worked on some others, kind of behind the scenes, to
Mhm.
kind of get up to speed on Suno. Um, what is your thought on the application as a whole, like in general? Like, what are your thoughts on that?
I I I don't know how to phrase this. I feel very confident in what I made, and I felt like I only am dipping my toes into all that Suno has to offer. Um, I played it for Titus, my son, and you made this. Is this you singing? Like, well, all right, buddy. I don't have that good a voice, but it was. I mean the level at which you can any person can hop into Suno and plug and play, lyrics or a style, and you can spit something out. Oh, that's great. Is it? It it took me a very
How many songs did you delete before you got to the
uh,
one that's it?
I it was in the double digits,
Yeah.
and I thought that kind of I thought it would be easier to be happy with something that I kind of put in the ingredients for, but it was kind of that, nah, it's kind of there, but it's not quite there yet. Let me do one more run. Let me adjust some things here and there. And then sometimes when you hear that product, okay, those lyrics don't sound good once they're sung. And
Yeah.
I think that was, I had my first, you know, I think I did about 8 or 9 songs with my original lyrics. And it was like that ninth time. And I was like, I think it's the lyrics that aren't clicking as well. And so that's when I went right back and kind of churned out some more things, and um, just took a little bit more time to not rely as much on Judy, uh, because I had the frame that I wanted, and then I can adjust here and there, and I can rhyme words, and so I could, you know, even if it's give me 10 words that rhyme with this, I could then, okay, that works in context. This
Yeah.
can slot in here. And so it allows you to, really kind of have an open book of all the words that are a possibility.
Yeah.
But I think I sat down and we talked over a little bit of Suno maybe a week before, and I was kind of making a couple things here and there, just some instrumentals at first, and just kind of getting a
Which were
feel
very good, by
for.
the way. I really
Oh,
enjoyed
thank
those.
you. My instrumental album's coming. Uh, but it's really interesting to, you know, I would go to Judy and I'd be like, I want a combination of this type of sound with this type of sound and this, but I need you to help me formulate the things that I want, even though I can't put into words exactly what I want.
Yeah.
And when you do that, you can really kind of evolve the sound you're trying to get to.
Yeah,
But
when I first started, I was trying to do everything in Suno, right? Like I'm writing
okay.
in the lyrics and or what I would have it make the lyrics and I'm writing in the prompts. I got away from having Suno do the lyrics very early on. One because who knows where? I mean, there's already been the deal with UDO with some of the major record labels, and Suno is still probably going to be in legal, stuff for
Limbo.
years.
Yeah.
Yeah, for years. So I'm pretty comfortable there, but so I wanted to get away from that because I want our own lyrics anyway. I mean, I don't want just it to spit out lyrics and be done. Because like you said, yeah, when you read something, it looks really good. But then when you go try to sing it, it's not always, 5 syllables, 5 syllables, 4 syllables, 4 syllables. Like you can tell, like, oh, well, I need to take that word out because it's going to flow better.
Yeah.
Or putting a space in between or an ellipsis or an M dash creates a pause in the singing, or putting it on another line, or putting it in parentheses to make it kind of like sung in the background. Like there's all those little
Yeah.
things you can do to tweak how the lyrics are done. And so once I kind of got into that, I would keep ChatGPT up and Suno up because I kind of know in my head what I'm looking for, and I would ask ChatGPT, Judy, what kind of prompt is going to give me this? So I would give it what I'm looking for and say, give me a prompt, which has to be less than 1,000 characters. So that's the other thing too. You have 1,000 characters to get your entire prompt in.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, like give me a prompt that's going to get me this, what I want. And a lot of that is like feeling and emotion. Like a lot of people don't realize Suno doesn't really work much off of I want this chord and this key, I want this many beats. It can kind of do beats per minute and stuff, but it really thrives on emotion and feeling. So if I can tell Judy, I'm like, hey, I want a song that makes me feel this way and has this kind of overarching flow and feeling and emotion, it does a really good job of providing me a prompt for Suno that will get me close to that. And then once I'm kind of in that range, now I can just start tweaking it. And how did you do with the sliders? So for those that don't know, Suno has some sliders. One is weirdness. It's from like everything are all like 0 to 100. Weirdness, style, what is it? Style adherence, influence. So you can either go 100% and say stick to just what I have, or you can back it off and Suno will kind of take some liberties. And then if you're using a cover or something, you can kind of decide what your input music is. Again, 100% input music, or back it off and let it go. Like, did you have any issues with the sliders?
So the sliders, I wanted to touch on one point you were saying about like Suno being needing emotion or some kind of descriptive. That I thought was kind of key in finally getting to what I wanted, was being able to get the adjectives and the descriptive phrases, and you know, getting that to where I wanted to. And so you were spot on with, if you can put the emotion into words to get a better prompt, or definitely worked a lot better. Um, the sliders, I love the weirdness slider.
Yeah.
I
Have you tried it at 100%?
I don't think I ever went to 100% because I was scared at 90%.
Man, it's chaos. Like, it says chaos.
Yeah, chaos mode.
It's
Yeah,
100% chaos. Sometimes I don't even know what language it's speaking when it's trying to sing. It got that bad.
It was. I think I did one of the instrumentals when I was playing around with it, and no lyrics on it, and I put it to 100%. And it was spitting out some kind of lyrics, even though I explicitly said this is just an instrumental. But the style influence, I thought, was it. That one took me a good bit to really dial into not being so. I'm not trying to be mean to indie bands, but whiny, like woe is me kind of sounding.
Emo-ish.
Yeah. I think there's a time and place for that, but the time that it took to just a couple percentage points one way or the other would have a very big swing on the end result that I would eventually get. But I mean, it was the sliders are definitely going to take some more time. And as we kind of build up some more personas and audio sounds, we can kind of blend different things and kind of dial into on the sounds that we want to hear from the artists that we have. But
do you want to go into that a little bit, because this song is it's from an artist that we haven't dropped before, but it is an artist that we have been working on.
Yeah. So when I was looking at these responses, and the chill indie vibes was the highest one, I was like, we've been working on that idea of that genre. And at first I think you and Mackenzie were thinking it was, we were going to do something under a different name or a new thing or something like that. And my first thought, without even consulting you guys, was I'm going to go with Tidal Haiz. I want that sound because for one, I've been listening to a lot of that genre lately, and Tidal Haiz. I was very excited. I mean, shoot, how long have we been kind of working on their stuff? I mean,
well over a month. I mean, yeah.
So I mean, so we put some time into this artist, and it kind of led to, I guess we'll make this the first single for the band. And so that kind of led into the proper discussions of, we got a couple things here and there. Let's do an album. And I don't think we know how many songs we want it to be yet. I mean, we're still in the early stages of it.
Yeah.
But
we probably won't be releasing the full album until early next year, sometime.
Yeah. We got a lot of other things in the works.
We have we got a lot of other stuff to be working on.
Plenty of stuff. But I really think that the sound that we've curated with Tidal Haiz, some of the emotion behind it, I mean, lyrically, I'm probably going to come across as biased, but I think it's going to be some of the best stuff that we've put out. Not just my song, but I think the indie genre is really starting to swing back into. I don't think it ever left, but I think we're seeing. I saw somewhere that the Billboard, the top 40 songs, there's no rap there anymore, and that's the first time in a long time. And so I really think that we're going to start, going into more singer songwriter stuff, a little bit more mild
Yeah.
genre. And so I really think Tidal Haiz is going to be something special, and
Yeah, me too.
excited about more of their stuff.
I can't wait to get 80s hair bands to come back. I mean, I've got some 80s hair band music that's ready to go, but we don't have an artist for it really. And I want to bring rock back. Like that's my goal, is to bring rock back. And this is rock. I mean, this is just a lighter style of rock. But yeah, I mean, I think we've seen so little of real singing instruments, and I say this as we AI music, yeah. But that, instruments, vocals, yeah. I mean, I like some rap and the hip hop and stuff like that. It's not my major genre, but I was back into that stuff back in the day. I was down with OPP. You know me. I wasn't, hun. I'm just. But
before my time.
Yes, it was. But no, I think we've seen like your award shows and stuff like that. Things like just rock and roll's just not there anymore, and I'd like to see that kind of make its way back, and including bands like Tidal Haiz that, it's because not only do they have like this kind of more mellow stuff. I mean, we're working on some more upbeat stuff with them too. I think that's the neat thing that we can do with these bands is we can decide and say, hey, we think they can do this kind of sound and this kind of sound. And I think we've done a really good job of trying to keep the vocals consistent. And that's one of the hardest things to do with AI music is keeping a consistent sound. Now, you took the vocals that we've used on other Tidal Haiz songs, and you were able to bring that in and apply that to your song.
Yeah.
Right. So it's keeping that consistent sound. Is it perfect? No, I don't think it's ever going to be. But having listened through the album so far, I get a feel. Yeah, it's the same guys, it's the same band,
Mm-hmm.
So
and that was that was one of the sliders where it was pulling from some of their songs or catalogs. And I did find where I think there was a rendition where I cranked that thing all the way up. You said like 20, 25 or something. Like, I'm gonna throw this up to 80. Let's see what happens. And you're like, I think this sounds like this. And I listened back to it and I was like, wow, that is the exact same melody.
Yeah, I found that out early on. Yeah, you got to be really careful because it'll just start
like, all right,
the same stuff.
I'll keep that one dialed back, but I'll keep that weirdness up. So yeah, no, it was that was very I guess humbling to, I guess, you say, oh, don't do this. I was like, we'll see about that.
Well, but yeah, I mean, it's like the thing with the weirdness, sometimes you can get some really neat stuff, right? Like obviously throwing it at 99, 100%, good luck, right? Because it does say chaos. That's what it is. It's chaos at that point. But keeping it midway as opposed to zero. So like when I'm doing a cover, like say we've landed on a particular melody that we like, right? We do a cover and we say, okay, well, we want to keep that melody, the same sound of the song, but we want some different variety of vocals, or maybe we want to change the lyrics up some. We can do what's called a cover. I may not want any weirdness because I'm like, I don't I don't want to veer away from the sound of that. So I will put the weirdness all the way at 0. I'll put the style or the audio weight all the way to 100%. Like
Mhm.
I want you to use the exact same, but it doesn't actually use the exact same,
Mm-mm.
right? It's creating the song again based on what you're feeding it. I'm just saying Suno has 0 leeway,
Yeah.
right? It's going to stick to this as close as it can. Um, but yeah, so if you want it to be exactly like what the original song was, then you slide those things all one in
All the
one
way
way.
up. Yeah.
But then if you want a little bit of weirdness, a little something a little in it, like it needs something, yeah, it's playing with those sliders. I think that becomes the skill.
I, I
If we
was
want to call this skill, I think it is. I think it's a skill. But
yeah. I was finding when I would put that weirdness up, especially in the style of that indie that we're going for, the vocal run-ons were just and it just on and
yeah,
on. I'm like, there's 2 minutes of just no lyrics and just vocal run-ons, and I was like, that's kind of not what we're going for. But it did provide some good laughs, so I did enjoy that.
yeah.
But
And I did want to bring up, so we've all the music that we've put out up until this point, we've just basically taken it as is, um, done some high end mastering within DistroKid, our
Mhm.
distributor, because sometimes Suno can be a bit muddy, like in the
Yeah,
sound, so it brightens it up nicely. But this song actually is the first time we've done any mastering on a song. So I was able to take your song, split up the tracks, vocals, drum, guitar, bass, all those
mhm.
things. And I was able to go in there and play around with the sound to clean it up.
Yeah,
And I it's a learning. Like I've never done that before. So like everything else with this company, it's we'll try it, right?
yeah.
Um,
See,
but
and that's
it
what I
worked
was
well.
talking about. Yeah, that's what I was talking about when it was like I feel like I'm just dipping my toes into
Mm-hmm.
this because I'm excited for the layers that you know if we get a song that we're like, man, this is like I want this exact thing, but like 5% difference, and being able to do our own thing that can get across that 5% that just takes it to the next level. That's where the real excitement is. I'm going to find that, and that's what I'm excited for.
Yeah. And even taking things in like a digital audio workstation, right? Where
Mhm.
maybe we've got a neat drum line or bass line or something like that Suno has given us. We can bring that in. We get other music from other places, right? I mean, I love messing around with GarageBand, right?
Yeah.
On Apple, because I could just sit there and play around with sounds and stuff.
Ding, 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 ding. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to be able to get to that point where I can make things in that, bring that into Suno and play around with it. Um, I also know that there's things you can do in Suno now where you can sing. Like you don't probably want to hear my unfiltered singing, but I can sing uh, my song, put it into Suno, and it can do stuff with that. Like that's
Create
where
a
I'm
whole
excited.
rhythm. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited to be able to just keep experimenting with it and see what we can do with it. And we may need to bring in more tools um, in order to do that. But I think that's what the purpose of this whole experiment of Pawdad Presents was anyway. It's like, hey, here's a bunch of people that don't know how to do this, trying it and seeing what we can you know, come out with.
Yeah. I mean,
It's
yeah,
fun.
I think if we all knew what we were doing, it wouldn't be that fun.
No.
We'd just be putting out stuff and it just, but I think learning together in regards to, what Mackenzie's doing, what Breck's doing, what Denver's doing, I think it allows us to find those areas where, you know, where I'm good at, where each of us have different strengths and different things.
Yeah.
And I that's what I enjoy is, I always get bored with, some things that I'm doing. And I'm like, all right, let me move on to the next thing. And, this is one thing that as much as I want to, yeah, I'll leave my 9 to 5 and just do that. Can't do that yet, but getting to that point of, hey, we have a good thing going here and we're having fun and we're making things that excite us and we're utilizing new tools. I can't complain that that's my free time,
Yeah. Yeah. It doesn't feel like work.
No, it doesn't. Not at all.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, I'm using Microsoft Teams and Outlook.
I'm building SharePoint lists and all that kind of stuff. So I'm doing my day job as my night job now, but it's more fun. I will say that. Yeah. And you know what? Like that was the whole purpose of like wanting to do this with all of you is, hey, let's try this. It could go well. It could crash and burn. Either way, we're going to have some fun with it. But if it ever does take off and we are able to get traction and, I mean, we still want to do publishing, right? We still want to get into book stuff. That's another whole area that we haven't touched yet, but we have plans for. Yeah, my end goal is that we can all quit our day jobs and do this full time. Like that would be my ideal outcome for this. And each of you can contribute in whatever way you can, how you can, with your own unique gifts and strengths. That's kind of the whole point of doing this. So,
yeah. I completely agree. So,
yeah. All right, I think we went way over the 5 minutes that we were going to do this.
Mackenzie said 5 minutes, but I mean, it's just sometimes when people talk, it flows. I mean, it feels like our ideas have taken flight recently.
Yeah,
some would say, and I had a good conversation. I think this is my first time really being
out on front, yeah,
the camera. So but no, I think it was a good discussion, and excited to see how you all enjoy the song, and looking forward to more of it.
Yeah. So again, it's out there. Check it out. It's on Apple and Spotify. We've got links to our playlists on our website. You can check those out. Listen to all the songs that we have out there, including Fading Forward by Tidal Haiz and Kyler Horn. And yeah, so we are excited to see what you think of it. Please comment. Let us know what you think. And yeah, it's been real fun. And
it's been very fun.
Yeah, we'll see you all later.